marching on together. We're gonna sing you in now we are so far. This I in the library of Leeds. You listen to On LUFC podcast with Gary and Stu.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sable Team. Hope everybody's doing well. And welcome to your All-In LUFC podcast. Today, I've got Gary with me from Watching on Leeds. How are we doing, Gary?
Doing all right, Stu. At this end, we're just debating about the audio and things like that. So apart from that, I mean, I have had a couple of issues with that. Notified by a couple of users in the chat. I think Ink is notified me and a couple of others. But anyway, we'll be testing that out. Hopefully, it's all right, guys. If not, then the job is to get a new cable tomorrow. But other than that, everything's fine. A very busy week at work, and we might talk a little bit about that later on as we go on in this podcast. So good evening to you if you're in Asia, and afternoon anywhere in Europe. And I don't know, do we get any American viewers coming in, Stu? I think we do, don't we? So good morning to you as well. Lots to discuss, and we've got a little agenda. You might notice that I've put a note in the description there, just a little bit about what we're talking about and what the agenda is for today's live stream. Quite a bit of analysis and stuff later on. And Stu, I think we've got a bit of a line-up. Where do we begin?
Well, let's start by quickly saying hello to Avinda who's in chat. Hi, Avinda, mate. Hope you're doing very well. I'm fine and well. How are you, Gary? He's asking how you are, Gary.
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you very much, Avinda. Yeah, we're all great, and everything's going grand. And enjoying the weather in the sun and drinking lots of water keep me going through the day. I'm doing it for my health. Yeah, of course, you keep hydrated in this hot weather spell that you're all having. Definitely.
Football predictions, Stu. England v Ukraine. I'm going with 3-1 England. I think it should be about 4-1 or something to England. I don't think we'll have any problems, Avinda, if I'm honest. Let me know your predictions, please, Gary.
I've not really done that much research on it, if I'm honest with this, Joe. Usually, when I do a prediction, I have to have a bit of a dabble and think about starting 11 and stuff like that. We're at the top of the group at the moment. So I mean, I'd probably say I can't remember what the score was in the previous game against Ukraine, but I think it were a convincing win, was it?
It was, yeah. I think we're at 4-1, 3-1, 4-1.
Yeah.
Like that.
So I think I'll probably go for the same again. To be honest with you, we'll go 4-1. I think we'll end up conceding if he puts Maguire out. They might get a bit lucky with an error or a slip or something, something like that. But I mean, speaking of Man United, of course, a lot going on about them. We might delve into that a little bit later in any other business when we get to the any other business segment, because we all need a moment to laugh. I think about.
Yeah. If Man United are doing poorly, I'm doing terrifically. That's it.
We're doing well.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I don't mind being in the Championship when Man United are doing as bad as they're doing. It makes it a bit more,
enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Anyway, right. So the first subject, Gary, is transfer deadline day drama. Cine to Bournemouth and Anthony to Leeds. I'll let you take it away with this. I think. First of all, are you sad to see Cine go? Let's start with that one.
I think. I did make a video and I said that I am a bit sad to see him go because I think he was carving himself out to be the next Rafinha kind of thing. That he could really go on this season, make a name for himself, and secure himself, in the future, a really big move like Rafinha did. And from that aspect, he's a very talented player. He's very good on the ball.
Yeah.
I think someone like him, he might have unlocked the door for us against Sheffield Wednesday. I think with his attacking threat, his dribbling, speed and footwork on the ball and stuff like that, that he's a very gifted individual. But he's felt it necessary to go. What I am deeply upset as is threatening to sue the club. But don't always believe what the club are telling us, because this business of threatening to sue us, it just seems to be a bit weird. Because I think he played a couple of games for us. Then when Nonto was banished, he suddenly disappeared off the scene as well, and we were told it was an injury, I think. Nonto comes back, Sinistera then plays, they both play a game, and then the next thing, we're on transfer deadline day, and out of the blue, he's gone. And then the club are telling us that or as that deal's going through, the club are telling us that he threatened to sue. I mean, it's a difficult one to put your finger on. I can believe that he probably has said that at some point. But if that were the case, then why reintroduce him after his rest or whatever it is? Why did we feel it necessary to do that? Wouldn't it have just been easier just to keep him away from the club business, and everything else? And I'm sad to see him go. I'm sad when any player threatens to sue a club. But instead of sitting there and threatening to sue the club, why was he not threatening to sue the agent? It's the agent's responsibility to make sure that they're acting it. And I said this about Nonto. Why are they not these guys not threatening to sue their agent? Put more pressure on the agent. They're the one that's supposed to be acting in the player's best interest. And it seems to me a sad state of affairs, Stu. It really does. I don't see any way back for him if it's a loan deal. We've not sold him, and there's no news yet, as far as I can tell, that there's an obligation on the club, Bournemouth, to buy him. But very quickly, or should I say, very shortly after the news broke, he's down there. They're doing the media work. He's shaking hands with the Bournemouth staff, chairman, and all the rest of it. And I think it's a sad state of affairs. But like always, Stu, I try not to be bitter, and I say you just got to move on. There's no point dwelling on it. He's a great player, but he's still young. He's still about 23, I think. And there's this business of not wishing him well and all this sort of thing. He's been spotted leaving Thorpe Arch on the day, and he's told the fans there that he's not going anywhere. Within a couple of hours, it turns out he's down there in Bournemouth. Few hours, he's down in Bournemouth, and everything's over the line, and it's a done deal. I would have done the same, Stu. I'd have probably told him a bit of a white lie. I said, look, everything's fine. Get on my way safely. Not going to upset any of the kids. The kids are there for the autograph and all that. The picture and all that sort of thing. It's a sorry event. But you just got to say, let's wish him well. Let's hope he has a blinder of a season. A really good season for Bournemouth. And if he does, and he sticks, he gets himself 20 goals, 15, 20 goals, that's benefit for Leeds United, in my opinion. All this business about, I hope he breaks his legs and all that sort of thing. That isn't productive for Leeds United. We've still got to remember he's our player. He's on loan, and he could very well go and increase his value. And if he does that, from a club business point of view, that has to be the most important thing. So let's just wish Lewis well. He'll be all right let's hope he does all right for Bournemouth. Let's hope that they don't get relegated. Let's hope that they're not in breach of any FFP as well. That they could take the player on, that they're operating within the rules of the game, and this time next year we could all be either celebrating a star player coming back to us, or better still, 60, 70 million in the bank, 100 million in the bank, and he's gone to Saudi Arabia. You never know. That's my viewpoint on it. I think it's easy for us to get upset, and then it's easy to get salty over it. There's no point getting salty over it, and especially as I think we've got the better part of the swap deal.
I think we've got an ear.
Yeah, I think looking at the analysis, I don't think this player is going to be any worse. I certainly think he's going to be better, and I think he's going to be more productive for us than Sinisterra. I think Farker will have identified what he's all about and what his potential is, and I think that's really important. So I think going forward, it gives us another option. We still have this problem of, do we have a recognised number 10, and who should be the number 9? And I think he'll go somewhere to solving those problems, I think. Because at least then we can stick him on the left-hand side, and it gives us another option. So there we go. What about yourself, Stu? Any?
Look, if a player doesn't want to be at a club, I've always said this, if a player doesn't want to be there, and if there's reasons, he might have genuine reasons why he didn't want to be at, maybe 50,000 reasons why we didn't want to play this season. My biggest gripe with all these players who have gone out on loan is, how do we reintegrate them back into our squad next season? How do the club think the fans are going to take to Sinisterra coming back, Jack Harrison coming back? I think that's the most difficult part. Now, I know what people are going to say. People are going to say, "Oh, we're doing it so they keep the sale value of the player. It keeps it high to play in the Premier League." But if Bournemouth or Everton get relegated, since speaking about Sinisterra, if Bournemouth get relegated with Sinisterra in that squad, there's going to be no market value there for us, because it'll be another relegation on his CV.
Yeah.
And then you've got to try and you've got to try and hope that the fans come around. He wins the fans over again, which I think is very difficult being at Leeds United with Leeds United fan base. I think once the Leeds United fan base have made up their mind about a player, that's it. I think it's very difficult to change their mind. I mean, luckily Monso had an away game when he come back into the squad after that time away. He didn't have 35,000 Leeds fans booing him or whatever they were going to do, and he put in a good performance. But Sinisterra is going to be going away for a full calendar season.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if he thinks that he's going to be welcomed back into the Leeds United squad. And I think the best thing for Leeds United's benefit is Bournemouth stay up and be selling, like you said, we're selling for a profit. I don't think bringing him back to Leeds is a good idea, if I'm honest. Leeds fans don't forget.
No. From a club a professional point of view, they won't really be that interested in what the fans think. I don't think.
No.
I'd never think that the club are in when we talk about professional and professionalism. There's no, people say, well, these players aren't committed to the shirt and blah blah blah, and to them, Stu, it's just a job. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just a job, and you've got to try and. I think what they try and do is they detach themselves from the emotion and none of that stuff. The connection with the club, none of that makes any sense to them. It doesn't even register with a lot of them. And I mean, you think back to that moment when Allardyce brought down Strachan, McAllister, Eddie Gray, and he had them all in a circle. And this generation of players, that stuff, sentimentalism, it doesn't seem to ring true to them. You know what I mean? That to them it's just a job, and if it works out, all right. But if I put a shift in, fine. But if I can't really be bothered anyway, so I'll just move on to another club. We'll get relegated, and they'll cut my salary by 50%, and I'll just move on and I'll increase my salary again. But you see, we were discussing this a little bit off air about salary deductions. We're going to try and pick that up a little bit later on in this podcast. But I mean, Jadon Anthony in that 21-22 season, he had an outstanding season for him. But then progressively, or the following season, he didn't do that much for him. I think we said he had 30 odd appearances. 30 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. But in the season prior to that, which is the season Bournemouth got promoted, it was 45 appearances, 8 goals, 7 assists. Not fantastic stats, is it? But, apparently, I think if Farke can do something with him, resurrect his career, perhaps things haven't gone down well at Bournemouth. They've been another club with huge transition going on. That we'll hope that he could come in, be as good if not better than Sinisterra, and if he does, great. We then have to talk to Bournemouth about offloading Cine, and can we acquire this new player? Let's just see what happens. So that's my.
It's the same age as it's a change. Jadon Anthony is the same age as Sinisterra. He's 23-year-old. He can play up left wing and right wing. He's right-footed. So he's the same age. His market value's been going up from 2022, November 2022. Its current market value on transfer market was 5 million. It's now 9 million. So it's been rising. It's been going on, on a steady uprise. So it's not. So it's it must have been improving step by step over the last 3 years.
Well, you would think so, Stu. But when you look at the appearances, 45 in the season they were promoted. Prior to that, it was 2020, 2021. He only made 5 appearances.
Yeah.
Only 1 assist in that first season. So I mean, I'm not sure. There's not much record in terms of the stats prior to that or what he was doing. But like you say, he's a young lad. If he's broken through in the ranks down at Bournemouth, I'm not too sure. Maybe the Bournemouth fans could tell us later on, maybe. But if we look at his, in that final third, it looks to me that he's been in around that final third quite a lot. Shooting goal per XG is 0.36 or 62 per 90. So his non-penalty XG per shot, 0.09, and it's some pretty good stats, really. When we're talking about smart ranking goal panel, number one is Kevin De Bruyne by a long way, and he's on that list, but he's quite some way down. But he's not got anywhere like the appearance. He's actually number 30.
Right.
He's actually number 30. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So this is like the midfield list. Do you mind if I share screen on this one, Stu?
You can, mate. Go for it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So here we are, folks. So we've got some of his stats here. It's not fantastic, but I think it'll probably improve under Farker if he gets a run in the side. He seems to be, like Stu says, the value of him's gone up. Expected threat isn't that bad, but this is the ranking that we've got here.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno Fernandes is number 2. That's Harvey Elliott, is it? Harvey Elliott?
Yeah.
Riyad Mahrez, Odegaard, Foden. And then we go down here, he's quite way down. So his Sinister is just a little bit below Sinisterra. But having said that, City's probably got more match time, I would think. He's certainly got more match time this season. I think he's not had much in terms of appearances under Areola as yet, I don't think. So, it's... I can't see Farker making that suggestion or making that move if he didn't think this player could be beneficial to us. We'll just have to find out, Stu. Wait and see. And if he could come into Championship, do a job for us, that's great. Great bit of business for us. I think he'll be all right. And what can you say? We all just hope that it works out well for us. That it's a good bit of business by Farker and by Leeds, and he's obviously been spotted or scouted that right. Well, we're going to lose Cine. Bournemouth want him. What have they got in their squad that we can take that's something like for like? And this guy's name's popped up, and there we go. Right, we're in a position now to do something about it. So yeah, Sydney, cheerio. But he's down there with Tyler Adams, who's going to be, that could still be another 4 months away by the sound of it. Let him get on with it. Just let him. It's just another, from a club point of view, it's just another player coming through and exiting the revolving door, and that's how it is. That's how it is.
Do you think, though, Gary? Like we only found out in the last hours of the deadline day, transfer deadline day. Do you think the club would have had an inkling that this was going to happen in advance to how we found out?
Well, yeah, absolutely, and I think that moment when he's suddenly gone missing from the starting 11. And they've come up with, I believe they said it was some kind of injury, but its details were a bit sketchy. That at that point, the higher ups have told Farker, listen, you better not play him. He's causing us some legal trouble, and we don't know where we are with him just yet. So make up anything. Tell him anything, but don't tell him that we're trying to offload him just yet until we've figured out with the accountants, the lawyers, the whole structure of Leeds that this is what we're going to do, and but we're not 100% sure. There's a lot of work to do behind the scenes on this one. Like I say, I was surprised by Leeds. I was surprised about that Wilfred Gnonto statement. You know, because they're putting themselves in a corner straight away over that. And if things can get resolved behind closed doors, nobody needs to know about it. But once they put that statement out, they back themselves into a bit of a corner. I felt that they can't reconciling it with him. If we manage to reconcile it with him and we satisfy him and we can get him playing again, then nobody needs to know anything about it. Nobody's reputation's damaged. And the fans won't have a clue what's gone on.
Yeah.
You know, but they've put that statement out there. I thought that was a really unusual step. But they've not done something similar with Sinistera.
No, they kept it a lot quiet. I think
they've kept that one totally quiet. So it just makes me wonder, you know, are the people making the decisions that have they thought, great, let's get a statement out, and have they acted in anger over Nonto, and then Sinistera is doing the similar thing at the similar time, and then suddenly, actually, you know what? We put that statement out about Wilfred. Everybody's seen it now. It's too late. We can't redact it, water it down, or tone it down, or smooth over the cracks with that. So what we'll do with Sinistera is we'll just say nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, I agree.
The easiest thing to do is say nothing. Get the player in, get the agent in. Let's get round the table, thrash out a deal, and find out what we're going to do. And is it? Can we convince the player that, you know, being in the Championship is not going to be detrimental to your international career? If you continue playing for Leeds United, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You'll get plenty of game time. You'll probably perform at a higher level because you'll be, you know, given the standard in this league. And I think we've found out already, Stu, that the standard in this league is not low. It's a tough league. We're going to be facing tough opponents week in, week out. And he could have gone on to do great things for us. Rafinha was in the Championship for us. It didn't affect Barcelona. Didn't affect Barcelona's interest in him. We got 50 million for him, and it's disappointing. It's just disappointing that it came to that. But Leeds are they being a bit salty about telling us about that? Well, he threatened to sue us and blah 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 blah. It's like, well, why isn't this guy suing the agent?
Yeah, I agree. I totally
it's
agree.
The agent should be putting those clauses in for you, not Leeds United. They're the ones that draw up the contract proposal. The club presumably agrees to it and then signs off on it or rejects it. It's one or the other, isn't it? It's a strange one. Strange. But it's strange how it all happened at the same time.
Yeah, that's very true. Just to finish on that bit of a segment of what we're doing, I'll just read out his comments. Better player, less injury prone, not a coward, wants to be at Leeds United, a win-win all round. I and Harmonie love what we're doing well. And I agree, it's a win-win all round. It is. Good afternoon, Inky. Hope we're doing well, mate. And Harmonie says they're definitely not being quiet at all. He said that he was going to sue Leeds United. The club made a statement saying that settled on the loan to avoid a court case, which would have been costly. Yeah, but they said that after when it all got done. Whereas with this Nonto, they said it straight away, didn't they? Whereas we only knew about this suing stuff after, at the end of after when he moved. So they kept all that quiet, did the club, until it all got put through. And then they come out, and rightly so, then after rectifying the situation, come out with a statement. That's what they should have done with Nonto, really. They should have done it if they want good. You see, with Nonto, right, if they'd have sorted it out in-house, they wouldn't have had to say any statements because he's still a Leeds United player. Whereas with Cine, he left. So they had to say something, didn't they? They had to tell us something. Well, they had to say a statement. Let's put it that way.
I mean, the fact that they've actually said that the player threatened legal action is a huge a huge statement. You know, it's kind of unprecedented that right, we've offloaded the player, now we can tell the truth. I'm surprised that they even told us the truth. They could just simply say, look, Bournemouth approached us. We felt that this lad that we're bringing in, it would fit us better than Sinistera. All you have to say is his agent has insisted on Premier League football. He'd really prefer to be in the Premier League for his international chances, and that's it. But you see, by coming out and saying, "Oh, he's threatened legal action," now you know if that swap goes back the other way in the next 12 months, or they do get relegated. My point is, the club hasn't done themselves any favours. Whoever's decided to release that statement has really made it near impossible for Sinistera to be reintegrated into the squad. You can't just turn around and say, "Well, look, he needs Premier League experience, and we want him back if we get promoted." Right?
Yeah. Well, this is why I said to you, Gary. My question would be, how are we going to reintegrate him back into the side when his loan deal ends? And I don't think there's no positive way around it. And
so now we're literally just hoping that he has a fire season in Premier League, and that his value goes through the roof, and somebody from Spain, Italy, or Saudi Arabia comes in for him, and offers us a ton of money to get rid of him. But it really is bizarre the way that they've handled it. I mean, I know Harmonie says they've sent the statements out and all that sort of thing, but we all want the truth, don't we? We all like the truth and stuff like that. But in some cases, letting the fans know the truth is that beneficial to the club? And I think when you're doing your checks and balances, that question has to be asked. Is this beneficial? All right, it might be beneficial in the short term that, we drum up a load of hatred, get him, he's out the door, they'll be glad to see the back of him, and that's it. Or do we look at it in a long-term view that there is a possibility that he might have to come back? Same with Aronson and a couple of these other players. How are we acting? Are we acting in the better long-term interest or the short-term interest? Because people will remember what was said in 12 months' time. Someone will have a screen. Everybody will have a screenshot of that statement. Luis Sinistera's turned up for training. We're like, what? Confusion all around. It baffles me sometimes. But I mean, we're not in the power positions, are we, Stu? We're not wearing the suits, so we can kind of speculate.
But another, I know this is not footballing things, but you're a school teacher, Gary. You will have risk assessments when you go on like school trips and stuff. You'll have to do a risk assessment. That's what they should have done. Is putting that statement out a risk to not only Leeds United but to Sinistera as well.
Yeah. They've not helped anybody with these statements.
You know what I mean? Let's remember that he was only fit 1 in 4 games. That's what Inky says, and he's spot on, mate. He's spot on. And hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you and family are good, as always. Harmonie says that is because I stated they wanted to keep him right until the end. Only when he threatened to sue did they allow him to go. His clause definitely expired in law. However, nobody wins if he stays. He won't play. We have to prepare for legal action. We have someone disrupting the squad, etc. I never want him back. I don't want him back either. No, I don't want him back. But, anyway, do you want to move on to the next one?
I'll just make that point that clauses expiring in the contract. I mean, it's the first time I've ever heard of it. You know, like, during the first 14 days of the transfer window, what it means is during the during the first 14 days of the transfer window, you could be loaned out or sold. But if after the first 14 days, uh, the sale or loan clause expires, I don't know. There's still something about this stuff. To me, it just doesn't add up, Stu. We're never going to know the truth. We can only speculate unless somebody, an independent comes out who's got the credible sources or whatever. Journalists don't get to see contracts, and that's it. The club know, the lawyers know, the accountants know what's gone off, and they're not gonna talk, are they? So.
Well, the sign is about
NDAs, mate. Yeah.
Non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all. I have them in my contract, and NDAs. There's stuff I can't talk about, even if I get asked. So.
Release clauses have always been timestamped since the 1990s. I've just never heard of it so much at Leeds until
Not an expiring.
I didn't understand it properly, Amani. I didn't understand, what it was all about back in them days and stuff, and because it never affected us, I never give it 2 second thought until this season. Right, well, let's move on to the next one. Gary, this is something you wanted to. This is somewhat what you said as well. What you really talked about, and you made me think about this since we had this discussion. It's Leeds United versus Sheffield Wednesday. The Farker experiment ?
Yeah, I think we should put a what is it? I can't do it, Stu, but you could put a banner on for this one. Farker experiment or experimentation.
Yeah,
and
going across bottom of the screen.
Say again, sorry.
It's going across bottom of the screen. Leeds United.
Oh right, yeah, I missed that. Sorry, mate. I couldn't see that. Yeah. The Farker experiment. A lot's been said online about we shouldn't be putting Rutter in as the number 9. Where was Pirot? And why was Pirot playing this number 10 position? And it suddenly occurred to me the other day, and we've got Nonto out on the left, and I think it was Somerville out on the right, wasn't it? And I'm sat there, I'm thinking about this for a few minutes. I'm thinking, we're talking about a guy here who's won the championship twice. Not once, but twice. On 2 separate occasions. And I'm just wondering, is this game against Sheffield Wednesday, was it a bit of an experiment in the respect of we don't really have a number 10? And we know Pirot can put the ball in the back of the net. I'm not too concerned about that. But how is it if he plays in that 10 slot? Is he going to be any good for us in a defensive capacity? And is he trying to? But I don't need to see him for 20 minutes. I need to see him for the full 90. And is that a case of just swapping things around for that game, thinking, well, if we get 3 points, we'll be all right. Nobody will complain. We'll get a draw. A few people are going to moan, and they'll complain. But then, obviously, what this will show us is that one of the areas where we are weak, that number 10 spot, in respect of it's going to be advantageous for us if we know who we can put in that spot during a game where we're having to soak up a bit of pressure, because Rutter isn't going to be capable of that job, and I need to see how Pirot can handle it, and is he capable of handling it. It was a weird one, Stu. It was a weird one because everybody was saying the same thing, and I remember going back on that stream, during the match, and I'm like, why is it we've got we've spent all this. I mean, it's not a lot of money, is it? It's 7 mil, is it? Something, is it 7 million for Pirot? Why have we
7 to
spent?
12 or something, isn't it?
So yeah, right, all right. We're not going to go into technicalities of exactly, but with the add-ons and all that. But why is it he's not in the number 9? And everybody's completely baffled by it. We were baffled by it. I remember us sat there talking about it, and like, why has he got Rutter up there? And I think we spoke after the game, after the final whistle, and we said, why is it we've got this guy? He's supposedly one of the best strikers in Championship, and we're not playing him in his natural position. And that's the only logical explanation I could come up with. That, you know what, maybe Farker's just experimenting with him in that 10 slot, that in case when we do come up against a top opposition and things do start getting a little bit hairy, shall we say, that we might have to sit back and defend a little bit and be a little bit more solid in terms of trying to stop the counter attacks, trying to stop the break up the opponent's flow of playing. And that's the only. I mean, I don't know what you think, chat, but it's the only thing that I can think that makes sense as to why he swapped it all around. That we had a guy there who scored first goal against Ipswich, and he was literally absent against Sheffield Wednesday, and that's the only thing I could put my finger on, that it's an experiment. He knows that we're not going to get beat by Sheffield Wednesday, but he still needs to see that, can he do a job for us if they do decide they're going to have a go at us. And I will, we're looking at that, the early part of each half, a lot of Sheffield Wednesday players advancing in the Leeds half, I think. Bit of a strange one. I don't know what you think, Stu. You say you started thinking about it, but...
Yeah, I did, and I think it was the Ipswich game where people were saying that Perot were too deep. Now, obviously, I would have thought you put Perot up top and you have Rutter behind. That way, Perot won't drop as deep back as what he did against Ipswich. But it was a mad one by Farker. It really was. But Armani's, I'm going to read his comments out. Several of Perot's goals come from him arriving late into the box, making it difficult to mark him. I would say he's definitely still playing at number 9, and Rutter was a false 9. Using them that way confuses the opposition's defence, allowing Perot more freedom. But the problem is, Armani, Perot didn't get the ball much. I didn't hear it. We didn't mention his name, Gary, hardly ever. If I'm honest, we didn't mention him in that watch along we did together. I can't remember him even having. I mean, he might have had a touch or two, but he wasn't. If this is how Farker's going to keep using Perot, I think we're wasting the boy's talent. I really do. I think we're wasting his talent. He needs to be pushed up further up the pitch. Yeah, and I know what Amani says about him being marked. Difficult to mark him when he's running into, making late runs and stuff. But a good striker always finds a way of making a yard of space anyway, doesn't it? Surely.
Well, I mean, you think back to the best of the best in the Premier League, or in any league, then they're going to find that yard of space, and you're always talking about fine margins, aren't you, Stu? Being able to roll a defender, being able to ride or predict a challenge coming in, but being able to just try and get goals. I'll just tell you a bit about Joel Perot. So it's 22 2021-22, he was playing for Swansea, and he had 45 appearances, 22 goals, and 6 assists, and that was his best season. The previous one, PSV, only made 11 appearances, 1 goal. Sparta Rotterdam, 18 appearances, 2 goals there. That was 2019-2020. He had 2 seasons prior to that at PSV, never appeared for PSV, didn't make any appearances for him. But then obviously for us, let's have a look here. What's Swansea? Sorry, he made 3 appearances for Swansea this season. No goals, no assists. Obviously for us, 2 goals, 1 assist. And it's just, I don't know, Stu. I mean, what I'm going to show you is the heat map about what he was, his overall positioning on the pitch, and he's covered quite a lot of yardage. I mean, I can't tell you exactly how much just at this moment, but if we have a look at what he actually did, or what he's actually done so far for us, this is, as you can see here up in top left corner, this is his record for us, and it's 179 minutes played, 1 non-penalty, of course, and open play 0.04, and it says there preferred foot left, so you'd expect to see him probably going down that left side, but the stats, I mean, those stats for Swansea are fantastic, because he's literally played every game of the season, hasn't he? Apart from 1. It's 46 games in the season. Now, the previous season wasn't that great, was it? But he's listed there. Yeah, 43 appearances, 19 goals. So that's another good season, isn't it? Just, it just makes me wonder what Farker is doing. But I mean, if Harmonie thinks that's going to be his A game, and that's what he likes to do, or that's his normal game, Farker's obviously going to back him in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
Some really good stats here. Through balls received, quite high. Passes, not great, but successful dribbles, not great. He's not a dribbler. Successful cutbacks, again, not great. Usually, if he's in and around the 18-yard box, he's going to be shooting, isn't he? He's not, 1 or 2 touches probably, and then bang, in it goes. Broadhead is the top of that league, and that's Ipswich. Or, he's a decent player, isn't he? So where is he? Where is he in the top? Well, he's number 12 in the in this championship this season. Number 12 at the moment. But that can all change as time goes on, and of course he's not played that many minutes for us, has he? Really, he's only, I think, it's 2 games in total. He's had, must be just 2 games. So overall, Stu, it's a fantastic signing for us. I think.
Yeah, I think so. But money is good.
I think for money, it's all right. And look at that, Josh Windass is down there at 19. But why isn't this a player that we're interested in here? Can you see who that is, Stu? Is he at Sunderland, Bellingham?
It's Jude's brother, yeah.
Yeah. So he's at Sunderland. So he appears on that list as well. He's not far. Look at that.
Yeah,
wow.
It's the right sneak climb that, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah. It's the goal, is that, isn't it? So I think they had a big victory. Stu, I mean, I think. Yeah, I think we're in for a real tough season. There are a lot of good sides in this league, a lot of good players. But do you think? I mean, I've seen a few polls this week going around about, was the transfer window a good one for us? I'm not so sure. I still think we still needed a couple of extra faces. How about yourself?
Yeah, we definitely need. We needed another left back, didn't we?
Left back, yeah.
And you'd say a creative midfielder as well.
Yeah.
But let's just hope Camera can produce that.
Yeah, I mean that's another player that we're going to look at a little bit later on. But lots of good things for us. I think there's a lot of positive stuff.
I agree.
But I still think, I do still worry, Stu, that it's 4 months I think until next window opens, and there's a lot of games between now and then, and I'm a bit worried about our strength in depth given our injury records over the last sort of 3 seasons, 4 seasons.
Yeah, we've struggled a bit, haven't we? We haven't had the best of luck with injuries, have we?
No, definitely not. So yeah, I still think we're a bit thin on the ground. I still think there's business there that Farker wanted to do, but time ran out, or think funds weren't available, or whatever the reasons are that he didn't get to bring in a couple of other extra faces. But at the minute, I think we're just going to have to muddle through, and hope that we're somewhere near the top. I think top 10 by Christmas. I think that we're going to have a decent chance of it. But I think we also have to dig in and prepare ourselves for the fact that when teams are coming to Elland Road, they're going to sit deep. And where are we going to find the answers from? Where's this creative midfielder that we're crying out for? The pass that will unlock the door to open some of these teams up, because otherwise we're going to be. I think we're going to be struggling, especially at home. We spent a lot of time down those wings, that left wing, in that Sheffield Wednesday game, and the end product was a little bit disappointing. And I think everybody else was disappointed, but I think that's just where I stand with it at the minute. We've still got a way to go, and it's not going to be an easy. It's not going to be an easy season. So that's my thought on the Farker experiment. Real difficult one. I mean, people won't agree with me, Stu, and I understand that, but that's just what I saw that game. That I'm surprised it was as deep as what it was, and you can only assume that that's Farker's plan for that particular match. That great if we get 3 points, no big deal if we don't. We'll pick up 3 points elsewhere. Gives other teams to think about, in their pre-match planning against us, what Farker's going to do, and it creates that bit of confusion. As Hermione says, makes sense. So yeah, what about yourself, Stu? Do you have any opinions or thoughts on that?
I'm in agreement with you when it comes to about being a bit confused with why he's playing so deep. I'm in agreement with that, definitely. I understand the fact that it's to give him more freedom, but I want to see him further forward. I want to see him in between the two, the 18-yard, the two goals lines, and I want to see him further upfield. I know he gets marked, and I get it, but he's a striker. He's going to have to. If he's as good as what we all say he's going to be, he should be able to find his space and be smart enough to find an extra yard. When balls coming into him. Well, let's just see what happens in this game against Millwall after break. If we play the same system again. Let's get through two at least comments, and then we'll go on to the next segment. Hiya, Robbo. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hiya, guys. Hope we're all well.
Yeah, Robbo.
Holy Ghost, big up, Holy Ghost. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. Good afternoon, Ian. Hope you're doing well. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well, and I'm not melting yet. I've like just normal. Yeah, I tell you something. I've been as you can see, I'm a bit ready faced. And it's been beautiful. It really has. Um, is there any free agents available? Few for good players, but it's the wages. How you, Robbo? How you doing? Sunderland AFC signed Joe Bellingham from Birmingham for £4 million.
Bargain.
Bargain,
If
wasn't
he's
it?
out like if he's out like his brother's literally destroying the La Liga at the minute by the sound of it. And he's having a real start to his life down at Real Madrid, isn't he? I mean, they've paid big money and everybody raised their eyebrows. And from Real Madrid's point of view, they don't have to play him every week in La Liga. You know, if they're playing some second-rate opposition, they're going to be using him in Champions League. I would have thought more than not. But I mean, I think the other thing as well is just going back to Perot. You know, if he is advanced, Stuart, there's nothing stopping him from going out onto wing, trying to get into the pockets, looking for little runs in behind, trying to pull those central defenders out of position. You know, let them mark him, because what he'll do is he'll cause such a distraction that'll then create that extra yard or two of space that we need for other players to come and join in attacks.
Yeah.
And everybody looks back at that Rutte. I mean, I heard it today described as a chip, but I mean, I thought it looked more like a lob to me, that the ball was off the ground,
Yeah,
and it looked, and he tried to lob the keeper.
Yeah.
But like I say, I heard it described as a chip, and it's just not come off for him. You know, if Perot's on the end of it, you expect that he's going to bury that chance, and it's fine margins, isn't it, Stu? That you might only get one chance in a game, and you've got to bury it, and that's it for me. All he has to do is just beat the keeper, and not try and lob the keeper, because I think the keeper rushing at him, it's not helped. It's not helped at all, and everybody's gone away from ground disappointed that we're a team that's expected to beat Sheffield Wednesday quite convincingly, and it's the only fixture that particular day that's ended in a 0-0 draw. You know, so it's disappointment and real frustration. And you look around, Stuart. I mean, Leeds fans are just doing the nutting about it. I'm doing my nutting about it, but you just sat there thinking, what can you do? We just weren't good enough on the day to get 3 points, and
get 3 points. Yeah.
Sometimes that's how it goes in football. But for us, in the first 5 games of this season, what have we had now? Is it three draws?
1 win, 3 draws, 1 defeat. And that leads us nicely on to the next subject, which is talking about the 5 games. But I'll just get through this last couple of comments. Job is apparently better than Jude. That's what Reed says. And we have a decent enough squad. Don't need any coming in at present. Maybe 2 more in January if needed to help push for promotion. And then Ian with his funny jokes says, "Oh, I like chips." Yeah. Well, I thought a chip was when a keeper were on the ground. A chip is when you chip a keeper when he's on ground. But the Sheffield Wednesday keeper wasn't on the ground, while he were on his feet.
Well, you chip the ball. You'd chip the ball if the ball was on the ground running. Yeah. I think, and the ball is rolling across the ground. But to me, it looked like it had bounced in front of Rutte. And he just tried to do a little side foot lob and just cushion it over the keeper. It's like anything else, isn't it? It's a risky shot, because if you overcook it, it goes on the roof or in row's head. And you undercook it, it goes straight in the keeper's hands. best just to try and side foot the keeper, or get it nutmeg him or whatever. It, it's just so frustrating that you think, and everybody's going to be sit there, and you know what they're going to be saying: 35 million for that, and it's like
it happens to the best of them.
That kind of thing will happen to Erling Haaland all the time. Nobody will batter an eyelid. It's Erling. He'll still smash us 35 goals this season. Don't worry about it. He's having an off day. I mean, look how many chances he had against Leeds when we played him at the Etihad. He must have had about eight chances, and he didn't bury any of them. Now, I mean, whether that's because he loves Leeds or he was just having an off day is a bit debatable. But I mean, I think he hit the bar twice. It's just the way it is.
He missed his last penalty, but goalkeeper, and he even had goalkeeper diving it other way, and he hit the post. He hit the post. So it's a human thing to do. Like they do miss chances. I mean, just persevere with him. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, if we go back, I'm going back some years. I remember Shearer were playing for Newcastle, and I think he went about 10 or 12 games and he didn't score a goal. And he's on a terrible drought, and what's happened to Alan Shearer, and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, no matter what he was doing, he couldn't bury it. He couldn't shove it back at. He couldn't stick it back at net, and that were it. Then he ends up getting a goal. He comes back after an international break or something like that, gets a goal, and then he goes on and scores about eight games in a row, something daft like that. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It's not an. It looks easy on TV, doesn't it? And you've got 35,000 players better than Rutter in Elland Road. You know what I mean? And they'll all tell you how he should have finished that, what he should have done, and everybody's an expert. You know what I mean? But when you're the one out there on the day, and you have that split second to think about what you're going to do, and you get it wrong, that's it. The chance is gone, and it's just the way it is for Rutter sometimes. I mean, we look back at Bamford last season, and the shocker that he had in those final 6 games. Madness. It's just the way it is. But it's what makes the game so addictive, isn't it?
It's, mate, you're right.
The unpredictability.
Just watched Finland beat Kazakhstan away in the European qualifiers, and Glenn Kamara provided the assist for Finland goal. He came on as a second half sub.
Wow, that's good news.
Brilliant, Michael. Hope you and family are well, mate. Hope you, people need to stop believing that wins are given. Any team can beat any team on a day, no matter who they are. The one thing I will say about Championship, it's highly competitive. Definitely highly competitive, man. And you've got to earn your wins, haven't you? You've got to earn them. HF, the Darlington FC management team, have been sacked on Wednesday. Wow.
Oh, Christ.
How do you feel about that, Ian? You have had a slow start, I know, but a bit earlier, I feel. Kelman got the assist. Oh, Kelman got the assist, not Kamara.
Oh.
Fair enough. So
is that Michael getting called out there, is it?
Yes, it is. Right, so let's go into the next segment of the show, guys. Right, opening 5 games. Been frustrating, Gary. I think the word is it's frustrating, mate. It's been really frustrating the opening 5 games of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a perfect world, Stu, the 5 games that we probably could have won, should have won, and we're on 15 points already, I can't. I haven't got the table just in front of me at the moment. But if you just show us what the table looks like, and then I'm going to show you a little graphic in a minute or two. And I think I can't help but feel that, you know, we are frustrated because we've had all of this action now in the transfer window, and now we've seen a few of these new faces come in. You know, we have to understand that for the team to start operating in an efficient manner, and that's that word that Farker used, isn't it? Efficiency. That might take a little bit of time. This international break coming up for us has come at the perfect time. I feel that he now has a bit of time to work with the players, get his ideas across. You know, I understand that. I think I read somewhere that Somerville's has decided not to join the Netherlands, and there was another player as well, Stu. Can you remember who it was?
Who wasn't going away on international duty?
Yeah.
Uh,
Chat, if you know who it is, there's another Leeds player. It's not Nonto. I know Nonto's been selected, and I think he's gone. But perhaps I can't remember who it is. It's not. I can't imagine the Welsh lads have said anything about not playing for Wales. Can you?
and it was. I've got the story. It was. Right, let's have a look. I hope this is the one.
No.
Right, here we go. Miss the beat and to the ball. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Right, I'm just having up. Robbie Koch pulls out of international duties as well.
Robin Koch.
Yeah.
But he's not with us anyway now, is he?
No, that's not the latest story. I apologise, guys.
Yeah. Archie Gray.
Archie Gray.
I'm not sure. I do seem to think that I've come across something somewhere. Somerville was one, and I can't think who the other one was. But I'm having difficulty recalling what I've seen. And anyway, whoever it is, 6th of September. Let's have a look at that. I'm just seeing. No. Leeds. No. There's a lot coming out from club about the charity work and stuff like that today, but there's nothing. I don't see anything about anybody pulling out of international duty for any reason. Anyway, whoever it was, but let's just hope that this international period, we get all the players back. That they're going to be a little bit sharper, match fitter, and that we're going to be able to do something in this league. I mean, we can see here with 15 played 5. Is it lost?
Yeah,
1.
played 5. We've won 1, drew 3, lost 1.
Yeah. So, and is that points at the end then, Stu?
6 points, yeah.
6 points. So I mean that's disappointing from my point of view, but I think we're going to start seeing that efficiency really coming into it with Farker in after this first international break, and I think that I recall that I might be wrong, but there might be another international break. Is there one in October as well or November? But I don't know. Usually there are 2, isn't there? I think
2 wins before Christmas.
There's usually 2 before Christmas, but this year it might change because of World Cup. So I'm not so sure. Because I seem to think England somewhere saying, "Oh yeah, it's the last international." Yeah, maybe it's wrong. was the last international break, I think. There are 2 games, aren't there, for England? Ukraine and who's the other one? Any idea?
I don't watch England football, but I can certainly find out for you, Gary, while we speak.
Yeah. Well, I put a little poll out saying, shall we do a watch along for the England-Ukraine game, or shall we go for Italy and North Macedonia? Hoping that Nonto's going to play. I thought Nonto had been called up.
Scotland on the Tuesday, the 12th of September.
Yeah, and then
You've got Ukraine on some Saturday, then Scotland on Tuesday.
Is that not the women's?
No, it's the men's.
Men's, is it? All right. Oh, if we're playing Scotland, I mean, God, I'm going to have to watch that.
Hang on a minute. Right, hang on. Yeah, because then on Friday, October 13th, we play Australia.
Austria or Australia? It's Euros, isn't it?
Yeah, Australia.
Is that a friendly?
That must be a friendly on 13th of October.
It must be. I don't know. It's confusing. Anyway, whatever it is, let's just hope that they're coming back and there's no problems. But I wanted just to sort of, if you want chat, let us have a little look. And what we'll try and do is we'll try and pull up the players that you want on the first team analysis. So I think we've had a look at Pirot. Who else have we looked at so far, Stu? Jaden, haven't we?
Jaden Anthony, yeah.
Jaden Anthony.
Gray's not gone with the under 18s. It's actually Gray who won't go with under 18s.
Oh, is it? Oh, right, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I think there was talk it was a player who'd been injured. I think it's Somerville. And Archie Gray, yeah. So, yeah, let's see. Chat, if you get any information about England play Scotland in a friendly after Ukraine. All right. I mean, yeah. There's no wonder that's confusing then, because I think it's all for Euro qualifiers. It's not, is it? So we're doing a friendly, and I mean, hopefully that doesn't affect us. That game doesn't affect us anyway. But we need to also know, chat, if you know what the Wales fixtures are, because poor old Stu's having to click around. We're all clicking around getting the answers. As well, chat, if you want us to have a look at any player and have a look at stats and TAs, and we'll just talk a little bit about who it is that we've got on there. We can show you the nice little graphs. We can go into the first player. If you've got a preference, who you want to see first, or who you want us to look at, for the Leeds squad at least, let us know who's the one that you really would like to see some stats on, and then we can have a little chat about surprises and stuff like that. Are you surprised by anything like that? I mean, Pirot ranks. Let's have a look. It says here that he ranks in the top 3% in EC, so in the English Championship. So there's no doubt in my mind that we've got a very, very good striker there for next to no money. And I think I've seen press or comments coming out from was it Swan? Did we get him from Swansea?
Yeah, Pirot. Yeah, we did.
Pirot got him from Swansea, and they are absolutely they're very disappointed that they've let him go at that. Yeah. Stu, have you got any player you'd like to have a look at that Leeds squad?
A player. Well, let's talk about that Ilya Gruev. Gruev.
Gruev.
Yeah. Bulgaria. Since Bulgaria are playing Iran in a 10-minute into game. Thank you, Michael, for information. But Ian says here, question: surely the teams have enough players to still keep playing on games throughout the international break? Rugby keeps playing, and they use more players and are more physical, and their game is more physical.
You know, I seem to think, Stu, when in the past when there was an international break, that the championship, not known as a championship back then, it just continued. I mean, I thought that the championship just continued as well because most.
It was just a top league, wasn't it? What didn't?
Yeah, just a top league that took a break because they expected that most teams in that championship don't have any exposure to the national side, or any national side, and there were enough players to get them through. Gurev, obviously, we don't have any stats for Werder Bremen. He's not. It doesn't look like he's appeared for him this season. Oh, I tell a lie. He's made one appearance for him. Previous season, he made 31 appearances, Stu, but there's no goals, no assists. 20, 21, 22, 26 appearances, one goal, and then any other season he's not scored or done anything. Sorry, 2020, 2021, he had one appearance. So I'll have a little look at that one. Just give me a second. So chat can see what it is I'm looking at. Hopefully we can get a little bit of a. Is he more of a? What do you know about Gruev, Stu? Have you read much about him or come across him yet?
I'm not gonna say that I do. That's why I wanted to have a good look at him. Because I don't know an awful lot about him, Gary.
Yeah.
You know, I just know he's more of a he breaks play up, doesn't he? It's good at making play.
It looks like it. I mean, we can see his left footer is preferred. Defensive midfielder. This is what we're looking at the moment. You know, this is the stat because they're literally just drawing up the analytics. I think for him and changing all of his stuff over. But we can see he's going to be. He's not at all advancing into the attacking third. Stu. I don't know if you can see the heat map here. Spends most of his time in and around centre circle, very central, and of course, occasional helping out with the defensive duties. His recoveries seem to be the most, or one of the areas, one of the reasons why he's been bought for. Passing isn't that great. Aerials isn't that great either. But I mean, this sort of stuff, it's like anything else, Stu. Getting the stats or getting some good stats, it's good. But if they've had a good run in, you know what I mean? They've had a good run in the team. But at this stage, in terms of overall, not many minutes really. I think there compared to. I mean, I think the championship's going to be a lot more demanding for him, isn't it, compared to what he's had in is it Werder Bremen? Yeah, Germany. So difficult one, Stu. Difficult one. Just is he then? Do you think the like for like replacement for say Tyler Adams?
Possibly. I think he's also a cover for Archie Gray. If I'm honest. I think he's covered for Archie Gray. You know, it's. I mean, you can't. I mean, even Daniel Farkas come out and says that you can't expect a 17-year-old player to play every minute of every game, including cup runs. You know, and I tend to agree with that. You know, I tend to agree with that. Armani says his performance stats are shaped like the Leeds United badge. That'll do for me, Armani. That'll do for me, my lovely. Well, Michael says Iran leading Bulgaria 1-0. Grulev at fault for the goal with a weak back pass header, which led to Ukraine playing team up a teammate.
Well, we've just said he's not good in air.
Well, look, it's he'd be nervous, but he'll be wanting to put on a show today. He'll know that Leeds United fans will be watching him. He'll know that.
Yeah, probably
you know, as long as he makes mistakes for Bulgaria or not for Leeds, I'll let him off.
Let him off. Let him off.
Yeah.
Pass accuracy, according to this, isn't too bad actually. But it's like anything else, Stu, isn't it? I don't think we've got enough data really to sort of
No.
pass any judgment. But I think if we have got someone who can give Archie Gray a bit of a rest,
I think it's a
that
good
you
thing.
know, a young lad, 17-year-old, it's got to be a good thing. That, but you see, the thing with Archie Gray is, we're going to miss his range of passing. It's fantastic. He's Archie Gray. I love him, mate. I think he's going to be a real good asset for us. But he has to be protected. That he's not going to burn himself out. That's the last thing that we want him to do. That he's going to burn himself out or get another injury. McGinn made sure of that when he faced him in Australia. John McGinn, wasn't it, for Aston Villa? So yeah, if he's going to be a good backup for us, he's ranking 18th in that position. But that's obviously in, I think, the Is it a Bundesliga? Is it? I'm not so sure about that. I'm not sure what league that is talking about. But the Championship is a different animal compared to what he's been used to. Let's just hope that when he comes, if he settles in and he's going to be competitive for us, that he's going to be able to do a job for us, and that's it. Really, I think we could all just get behind him. Saves made, yeah, it's not really that much compared to other players. Not that much information available on him just yet. Let's have a look.
Glenn Kamara's been given Anthony Jaden Anthony's been given Tyler Adams' old shirt number at Ellen Road.
Right.
And Joe Rodon's number 14.
Yeah.
Byram's number 25. Let's have a look. Spencer's number 31. And Grulev had selected the number 44 shirt at Ellen Road, famously worn by the goal machine Ross McCormack a decade ago. So Gurev's number 44.
Well, let's hope that people don't expect him to be getting goals at McCormack's rate, because they're going to be bitterly disappointed just based on his shirt number. Anybody will cling on to any hope of goals, won't they, Stu?
Harmonie says it's a tongue and cheek. Right, sell Gurev in January.
Yeah. He's not had a great season here for him in that 2020-2021 campaign, but then he's improved over time. From what I can gather, that these stats here are pretty poor, to be quite honest with you. But like I said, there's only one appearance and 0 appearances, so that's probably why it's just filling that in as a bit of a default that this is what you get if you don't play. So Gurev, an unknown central defensive midfielder, left footer is the favoured foot from him. Stu, anybody else you can think of, or does chat have anyone they want to have a look at? Chat, of course, if you want to pop a name or two in there, stick them in there. We'll be delighted to pull those up on the screen for you, and we can have your thoughts, your comments. Perhaps there's something that you noticed that you didn't notice.
Someone never asked you, Gary.
Go on.
Someone never asked you.
Aye.
Obviously, we know about Ampadu. We've played games for Leeds. We know what we're getting with Ampadu. But of any of the players that we haven't seen yet, out of the players, like we saw 5 minutes of Spence. We saw 5 minutes of Kamara. We haven't seen Gurev. Out of them 3 players, which player are you most looking forward to watching?
The right up is Jadon Spence, and I think I think he's had a bit of yeah. I mean, I'll just pull him up on the screen now, and it sounds to me, Stu, because we'll just have a look here. That if you hadn't seen this one, chat, it's goals per game. So 2 goals in the first, 0 there. Is that? Oh, hang on. What's that? Birmingham versus Leeds. What score there, Stu? Can you remember? Did we score any goals there?
Yeah, I think that finished 1-1, didn't it? I'm sure it did.
1-1. Yeah,
I'm sure it did.
So this isn't actual goals. It's like the measuring it in XG and all this other expected stuff. All right. So it's stats.
Right, well, 1-0 to Birmingham. Birmingham won 1-0.
1-0. That's the game we lost, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't tell me the result there for some reason. In the other one, it tells me it was. Yeah, Leeds 2. That's it. Cardiff City. So there we go. 0-0 there. Sheffield Wednesday. If we have a little look at, is it Spence? Did you say, Stu?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just have a look, and see if I don't know if he's been listed yet. If not, then I'm going to have a look and see what his stats are from the Stuart. I mean, they've even got Stuart Dallas listed there and. Matteo Joseph and Helder Costa.
He's still a Leeds United player, isn't he?
I mean, how is he still on payroll?
Because no one else coming for him. That's the problem.
Yeah.
There he is, Jed Spence.
Jed Spence, 9 minutes played, 2 successful dribbles, but he made Bannon. He just swept Bannon aside a few times there, didn't he? Bit of a strong guy, this guy. I'm looking forward to seeing some
big lad, really strong unit.
Really big unit of a fella, innit?
Powerful, yeah, definitely.
I'm hoping we can get his stats up, but we'll just wait on that a moment, chat. As soon as we got that up, Stu, if you've got any suggestions in chat, I can't see any. I can't see the chat at the moment, but recoveries is what he was known for down at Spurs. Of course, we'll try and have a look at some advanced stats and see what the overall picture is. Not often we get a goal out of him, Stu. Only 2 career goals by the look of it. 4 assists, but it's his recovering and his defending that we're looking at on this one, so we don't really expect that much from players in those kinds of positions. Number 13 on this league here. Is that's I think that's a mixture of the leagues, because I think Chelsea's in there as well. Rennes, Nottingham Forest. That's where the plenty of action.
Yeah,
that was made. Yeah. I saw most of him. A lot of action there. Middlesbrough as well, Stu. Can you see that, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a case of getting him in there, recovering, dispossessing the opponent. I mean, I certainly won't want to be caught have him running at me if I were in possession of the ball, would you, Stu?
No, I'd want to switch sides immediately.
Yeah.
I'll be switching sides, I tell you.
I mean,
look at do the go away to Naka so we can all cry over it. We should have got to Naka.
Yeah. In his rankings, Stu, I mean, I'm looking at some of these team badges here. You know, You've got Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Cabore there, PSG. There's a couple of, it looks like it's measuring him in European terms. Does this XP carries? And decent player. He's one of top players in Europe at in the roles that he plays. I mean,
I'm excited about seeing him.
I I thought that he looked quite comfortable on the ball. You know, Bannon was snapping at him a couple of times, I think, during that match, from what I remember, and he just swept him aside, didn't he? Really tough physical character. I think you know I think he's going to do a job for us. But you know, is Farker going to say, well, you know what, your position as a ball recovery specialist is probably not what you're useful for us. We need you more in central. We need somebody with that strength. Sometimes muscling the central defenders about, that kind of thing, Stu. Any kind of, you know, is Farker going to be tempted to swap him around? I mean, it sounds absolutely wild what I'm suggesting there, but I mean, he put Rodon up front, didn't he? During one match.
That's because we had nobody else on bench, to be fair. But
Because we had nobody else on bench.
So he looks promising to me. You know what I mean? You know, he looks exciting. I was excited when we first knew about, you know, we heard his name. Now I'll be honest with you, I didn't think we'd get him. If I'm honest, I thought he would have gone on to another Premier League club or something.
Yeah,
because he has got quality, and you know it's unfair to judge him at Spurs because Angolo, Tony Conte didn't want him at Spurs, but Spurs still went out and bought him anyway. And what happened? And Conte didn't pick it, didn't give him a chance, didn't give him a sniff. So you know this is why I don't judge what he did at Spurs. Big Mally says Kamara had a solid 20 minutes today, but Spence is the most exciting of those three.
Yeah.
Amani says totally agree, Big Mally. Yep, totally agree. AOPH. Ailing should be very worried. Yeah, well, that's another question as well to everyone in chat as well as you, Gary. Is Jed Spence going to just walk in and take Ailing's place, or is it going to be integrated at a pace what Farker wants him to be integrated at? Maybe 15 minutes, then 20 minutes, then you know what I mean? Or do you think they'll just put him straight in and take Ailing straight out?
I think I think certainly in the next 3 or 4 games, we have to be prioritising him over Luke Ayling. I was impressed with the way he was picking the ball up. He had a couple of dribbles, knocked the opponent about a bit, really ruffled them up because they were getting a lot of joy down that left hand side until he came on the pitch, and he just he sorted them all out. And I think I've heard from a couple of Forest fans that they basically said that without him, or they had him during their promotion season, and he was absolutely outstanding for them. One of the key players that, you know, he can really break up an opponent's rhythm, really stop them playing, and it's, you know, someone like that. And if he's fit, you know, Luke Ayling is I won't say he's finished, but I think they're going to have to be conserving him and reducing his minutes, because when you think about Luke Ayling, Stu, he has had a lot of minutes for us. He is getting on a little bit. You know, he can't track back like perhaps he once was able to. He's had a couple of injuries over his career lifetime, hasn't he? So, you know, Luke Ayling's another one who comes in for, and a lot of players come in for a lot of stick, but Luke Ayling's one that.
To you about him. I hope the Leeds fans don't automatically forget about what he did for us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Rather than saying always get rid of him. You know what I mean. I don't like that sort of attitude. We've got to remember what he brought, what he did for the club. I'm not saying that gives him a God-given right to be selected week in, week out, but don't just rubbish him off.
Yeah. It's. I mean, some people say, "Oh, you're too sentimental," and blah blah blah, and you can't be sentimental. You've got to play for the moment, not for the past, and all that kind of thing. But I mean, when you look at Ayling's action areas, I mean, even now, Stu, we've played 5 games. He's had 440 minutes of football. He's probably one of our most used. Oh, hello. He's probably one of our most used players in terms of minutes. And it's, the sad thing is we all come to the end of our career, don't we? But I don't think it's the end of Luke Ayling. But I just hope that, that if Spence is going to be the one, that Luke Ayling isn't forgotten about, as you say. We don't do out daft with him, send him out on loan or upset him in any way. And I mean, Farker talks about his leadership qualities.
Yeah.
And I think other managers have talked about that in the past, that, he's always trying to encourage the younger players the right way and show them professionalism and all this sort of thing. But we can see here, look, that his appearance numbers are, even in the Premier League years, 27, 38, 37, 38, 26 in 21, 22, 29, and then 5. So, and everybody knows him for coming round the back when a long raking ball in or a good crossing from the left hand side and getting into the back post, and Luke Ayling's going to be there to knock it in. And I don't know. I mean, I've been a bit critical of him over his passing and over his game recently. And it's the tracking back business, Stu, that the other teams know what he's about. He's all right going forward, getting up the park. His passing isn't all that great, or it hasn't been, I don't think. But this stat will tell you otherwise, Stu. Can you see that chat? I don't know if you can see this.
But he's not the same player as he once was, and we've got to give him that bit of
I mean,
that's leverage to say that he's not going to get back as quick as what he once was used to be able to.
I mean, go on.
Sorry, Ayling should be very worried. Yeah, this right. I hope we can buy him after his loan. Even though it's not in the deal, we need to be investing in players like this, solid, and he will improve with time too. Right. I've nearly caught. Right. Sorry about that, Gary. Go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is the previous season, Stu, and I mentioned there his passing can be terrible, but this statistic tells us otherwise, that he's in the top 20% in terms of passing rates for right backs. So it's not all that bad, and managers aren't looking at each game. They're not looking, oh, that was a terrible pass, and I'm not. That's it. If that's best he can do. They're not thinking about one moment or one pass in a game. They're thinking about the overall longer, the bigger picture. And I believe it was Patrick Bamford's birthday the other day. Was it 2 days ago? Perhaps I'm wrong. And I saw a statistic, and it said something along the lines of 150 appearances for Leeds United, 50-odd goals. Is that right? I mean, if that's right, it's 1 in 3, and it sounds like a tremendous statistic, doesn't it? You know what I mean? But when we look at it overall, season by season, you just sat there thinking, apart from that promotion season,
he hasn't been very good.
He hasn't been very good for us, and that's what people are thinking about that now, but they're not thinking about. Or are they prioritising the past? And it's like, fine, Patrick Bamford, but you need to be banging 20 goals in a season for us, not 20 goals 2 years ago. that's no good to us. You know what I mean? If he had a run inside, would it have been any different? Would we have been able to stay up if he'd have had 3 or 4 more games during that relegation season? And that could have made a lot of difference to us,
A
I
lot
think.
of difference. We could have done, yeah. Spot on.
You know, especially if he starts finding back at net. Um, you know, so these stats, these are the things that the coaches, the managers, the staff, they're all looking into. And I mean, look at these action areas from him last year. He's more than likely to win headers. Recoveries, pretty good at recovering. Assisting, well, of course, we know about Luke Ayling's assisting there. It's quite good, highly rated. And you're just looking at these stats, and it's like he's not even talking about the same player, guys. I can tell you, it's Luke Ayling, 2,049 minutes played in the previous season. Unbelievable amount of minutes. Is he too old, Stu? Is he past it? Is he past his best? Do you think, or will he do as a job in this championship?
If we are to be reliant on him, I think he can still do a job. I think he's a good squad. It's a squad. He's a good squad member to have in your squad.
Yeah.
So
Carries
yeah,
forward as well. Go
on. I think I spelled that right. Yeah, sorry about that, Mally. I was absolutely shattered last night, mate, and I spelled analysis wrong. Cheers, Mally. If we still get promoted this season, do you think do you guys think Farker will keep his job like Bielsa? He will get a second opportunity the following season. It all depends on how far away we are. It all depends on how far away we are from or you know where we finish at table. I think, and how many points behind we are. If we're something like 20 odd points behind top winners, then I don't think he will keep his job. No, but if we're close, I think he will. What about you, Gary? Do you think he'll keep his job if we don't get promoted?
I think it's got to be top 6, hasn't it? At the moment, I'd be saying, you know, what do you think, chat? Would you be happy with the top 6 finish this season? I think, given what we've had to put up with, yeah. You know, mine is mentioned that if we can pick a few new faces up during the next transfer window, then that's got to be a good uh, a, a good bit of progress for us. I think we have to just try and stabilise things. I think Fark has stopped the rot. I think the rot was setting in at Ellard Road. I think if we hadn't have got Farker in and we'd have had any other manager in, we probably would have lost Nanto by now. Probably Somerville and a couple of the other Premier League players. I think top 6, Stu. I do. I think top 6 would be a really, really positive season for us. I mean, everybody's saying, you know, oh, we could go out and win this league and blah, 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 blah. I'm not so sure. I still think strength in depth is a huge problem for us, Stu. I think we get an injury, a couple of injuries in that front four. We're snookered. We're absolutely snookered. You might think it's impossible, but it's already happened, hasn't it? You know, we had Rutte injured in one, Bamford, Joseph, 3 players injured in one game. Madness. And this is probably why our start isn't as good as what we'd hoped. You know, it's one of the main reasons why it's not as good as what we'd hoped. But in terms of Luke Ayling, I mean, progress passes. You know, these are stats that people are not done too much. These are stats that people don't pay much attention to, like blocking here. You know, not often you see him putting his body on the line, is it, in front of the goal? Do you think? I think that's what that one's about. Block shots and things like that.
Malice just says, I need to sort my speakers out. They are crackling like crazy. I don't know if it's your speakers, Mally, or or Gary's microphone wire. I think he's got a problem with his microphone wire.
Yeah, it is me, Mally. It's me. It's me. It's a wire problem. I think it's something I'm going to try and get fixed.
Ayling is naturally a fit player, but the back line needs to be rebuilt from the back. Solid foundations. Keep him as a backup player, but for now. Keep him as a backup player for now, but Ayling, Cooper, Dallas contracts all expire at the end of the season. I think that's when they'll go, Michael.
Yeah, it's not your speakers, Mally. It's me. But the daft thing is Stu can hear me perfectly. Is that correct, Stu, or do you keep getting the odd bit of crackling?
You're breaking up a lot now.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? Well, we nearly come to end the show anyway, so
yeah.
Billy, if you got all you want to say, mate, what we can finish on.
I think
on a positive.
I think there's still a lot to look forward to. I think once we've had a week, this international break is done and out the way, I think we can expect to see something that looks a little bit more Daniel Farker. I think we're going to be better going forward. I think players are going to know the roles a little bit better. Hopefully, it gives them the chance to build communication, a bit of rapport. We've seen today, Shax, of course, a player who we've not mentioned in the stream yet tonight, coming in at left back, doing a good job for us, becoming a bit of a utility player, the new Stuart Dallas, so to speak, and that's kind of working out for us at the moment. We still have problems in those areas, but I think the next transfer window, Harmonie said it. If we're anywhere in that top 6, come this transfer window, we've got a chance of winning it.
Broken up.
Are you there? Hello.
I'm still here, mate. Yeah, but you froze. That's it. You're back again.
Yeah, I'm now. If I'm freezing, I'm now wondering: is it the connection? Is it my internet connection? And that could
it's
possibly
your internet connection, mate. It's gone.
Could be the Wi-Fi. Yeah, weird, isn't it? So yeah, I think it's exciting times ahead. Let's just hope that we can put a good run of wins together after this international break. I think we can. I think we get maximum points in September, and hopefully we push on from there. We've got 3 away games. Is that correct? 3 away games, one home game.
Yeah, well, we've got Millwall coming up. That's the big game, mate. Millwall away. That's a massive game.
Watford at home.
Your internet connection's really poor, Gary.
Yeah, is it?
I think you disappeared.
I think it's the upload speed. Must be the upload speed, because I can hear and see you perfectly. It's weird. Absolutely weird. But I'm not happy with this internet provider, so there's gonna be some. They're gonna get sacked.
They're gonna get sacked.
They're gonna get sacked.
Right. Right, so these are his next 4 fixtures. We're away at Millwall, away to Millwall, away to Hull, home to Watford, away to Southampton.
Yeah.
So we've got one home game in the next 4.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 3 chances away, Stu. I think we're 3 teams who are going to be under pressure. They're going to need wins, and that plays right into our hands. If they're having to attack us, that'll suit us perfectly, because they're going to have to come at us, play football against us, and let's see. TV Sunday 2 p.m. I'm not sure what that is. So yeah, that's it from me, Stu. Overall, I'm kind of satisfied. I was hoping we'd still see a couple of new faces, but it's still a lot to look forward to. I think we're on the up. I think we're on the up. That Sheffield Wednesday game, another blip, but it's not gonna. It's not a straight road to the top, is it? It's going to be a rough one. Stu?
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Big Mally says, please tune into TNM TV on Sunday. Yeah. A new show, Disabled Team Gary. It's
Oh
Mally
yeah,
and Tom. We're going to be doing
yeah,
their show on Sunday at 2 o'clock. That should be interesting. I cannot wait.
yeah.
I will be watching on my big screening room. I will not be getting involved one little bit, and I'm going to watch, and I'm gonna be cheering on the boys. I'll be
That's
cheering
it.
them on.
That's it. Yeah, perfect. We'll be cheering you on, Mallet. Definitely on that one. We'll be there. Definitely. So
Armani
that's
fellas,
it from
I
me
will.
on that one.
Thanks,
Any other
Armani. Love.
business chat? Any other business you want us to look at? If there's no other
The
business,
low
Stu, I
bucks
think we're
are a
done.
problem for Leeds, especially at Ellen Road. The same
Mm.
issue under Bielsa teams in the Championship, but had a more settled team. And
Mm.
cheers, Armani. Looking forward to it. Gary, your internet. I don't know if it's me or, but you've gone again. You've just disappeared. You're there, but you're not. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. I can hear you perfectly. It must be the internet connection, Stu. So
Yes,
I
it's
will
the
look
other way.
into that. I will look into
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
right. Well, look, guys, we've had. It's been a good, podcast, Gary. I really hope the people in chat have enjoyed it. A lot of analysis there by you, Gary, which I'm glad about. I'm glad you're with me, mate. I really am. Without your help, I'd be snookered with that sort of thing. That's more your speciality than mine. But yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed it. I really do. Oh, Gary, is that a sync shoe?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
no
way
worries.
we're
Yeah, but
looking at
Gary,
it,
thank you very much.
thank you, Stu. Yep, no problem. Okay.
I can see Gary perfectly well. I can't, Armani. I don't know what it is.
Mm.
Armani says that she can see you perfectly well. I think we can
Weird.
see you. It's just you keep breaking up when you speak.
Yeah, it's weird.
Look at it.
I can't put my finger on it. It's
No, it's
really,
weird,
really
isn't it?
strange. If I look at it now,
Yeah, you look all
yeah,
right now. It's when you speak. Unless it's my end. It might be my end, Gary.
strange. No, I think Stu, I think looking at it, it looks like a slow connection from me. It's a slow upload speed or a slow ping rate, perhaps. So it's just the way it is. I'm afraid. No problem. It's the sound, and I think perhaps it's probably possibly a faulty cable. So I'll have to get that changed. If I just get this changed over, chat,
And no problem with
I'm going
video
to change.
audio. That it's the issue.
I'll change the audio input. Right. So let me have a look.
Oh, I'm gone. I'm back. I'm back.
Right, hang
Look,
on.
it looks like I'm going to lose signal strength, Gary, as well, mate. Something's going on
Yeah.
with must be StreamYard.
Yeah. Can you hear me now, chat?
That's better.
Oh, hello.
No, you're still breaking up. It must be my end as well, Gary. I'll check my internet connection as well. At least, Gary's gone,
Yeah.
bless him. Not going to be on here for the next 2 weeks, guys, as I'm away with work. Well,
Just a second, Stu.
hope you have a nice time away. I have a good time away with work, Robbo. Not breaking up for me. It's just me. It must be my eyes, then. It must be me, man. There you go. No breaking up for me. Could be because doing both channels, which is a stupid idea.
This is an audio test.
Could be because of doing both channels, which is a stupid idea. Are you still there, Gary? Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm just doing audio test, you, because I've changed over the audio because I've got a second mic up here.
That sounds better. That's
so
a lot better, Gary.
Yeah.
Hi,
But you see, the problem is this mic that I'm using's got a battery in it, so I don't often use it. Yeah, slightly better, right? So this is a mic that's mounted on top of camera. So, but yeah,
Right.
when I'm looking on YouTube at the minute, when I'm on YouTube at the moment, Stu. Yeah, there we go. No,
Right, well, look, guys, thank you, everybody.
there's a
Gary,
crackling. There's a
still
crackling. Yeah, there's a crackling still there, Stu. I still get a crackling even though I've got the new mic on. So that tells me I think it's an upload. It's either a syncing problem or an upload problem at my end, perhaps. So yeah, I'll try and do something about that. But frustrating, and yeah, of course, Mally. I mean, anybody who's using StreamYard, I think you're probably going to know about these little teething bugs. I think so. We're not going to be able. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry to hear that, Rob. Well, yeah, I understand you've been very busy. That's why I've not been in touch because I watched a video the other day. It sounds like you've been away on exercises and stuff. So, yeah, bit of a close one of your channels. One of my channels. Maybe it's what is it? Windows. Maybe there's too many windows open. Possibly that's what it is. It's using up the system resources or something like that. If I close that YouTube channel down, does that change anything, Jack? Let me know if that changes anything. If it does, that's great. If not, the thing is when Stu and I are talking, there's no problem. Stu, are you there?
I'm here, mate, but I can hardly hear
you. Right. You can't hear me at all? Or is it really low?
you. You keep breaking up.
Yeah, I think it's in
Close
the
either W. Close either W. Watch along Leeds or TDT.
All right, yeah. Yeah, I see what he means. I'll close that. I don't know. I think I know what he means. Because it's been rebroadcasted. I think that's what it is. So yeah,
it is?
But that might well be what it is. But I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can stop it now. Just a minute. You're on live. You're on YouTube. Yeah, that's a weird one, is that? Really weird. Anyway, we'll obviously have a chat with. I think I'll message StreamYard and just let them know that there are issues there or there are gremlins in the system and work with them to try and find a solution. I think that's really all we can say in it, Stu.
Yeah, mate. Yep. That's all we can do, innit?
Yeah.
Right, well, look, guys, thank you very much for watching this edition of Disabled Team. Much appreciated, Gary. Thanks for joining us as always, mate. Always good to get your insight and your help with what we're doing, and much appreciated. And please go check out Watch Along Gary's channel, Watch Along Leeds. I will put it across the banner as well, which is there. You go, Gary. That's your channel going across the bottom of the banner. So so look, guys, thank you very much for watching this edition of Disabled Team.
Yeah.
Are you back, Gary, or are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me? It's frozen. On YouTube, it's actually frozen.
Has it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know if I'm sure they'll let me know in comments below on what they think it could be. Anyway, look, guys, thank you very much for watching this edition of Disabled Team, and until next week. The next show we're doing is tomorrow. That's the Fantasy Premier League, and then obviously Sunday, Mally and Tom are doing their new venture on Disabled Team. So please check out their channel. Gary, you got it? You want to say before we go, mate?
No, that's it. Thank you very much for joining us. I've always had a good chat with Stu and everybody else in chat. It's always a pleasure, and we both enjoy doing these. And whenever we enjoy it, I think we'll just keep doing it, won't we, Stu? So, marching on together.
Yeah.
That's all for me. I hope you all have a really good evening ahead, and take care of yourselves.
Take care, everybody. Thank you very much for all your support, as always. And until next time, guys,
definitely.
it's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Marching on together.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Bye-bye.